Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain TXP and today is the 3rd of August 2023 and unfortunately guys, the global cryptocurrency market is not looking good. As a matter of fact, a lot of the cryptocurrencies including Bitcoin are definitely looking red and we'll go ahead and discuss why that has happened because look guys, there's this massive rumor circulating right now that Binance might be in some deep trouble and the US Department of Justice are possibly considering fraudulent charges. Now at this point of time it is unclear if this is rumor or legitimate news, because what happened is that there's one online publication called a Semaphore. They have actually gone ahead and published this news, and as I often say guys, mainstream media picks up this news, they tend to add their own narratives, and surprisingly guys, because of that, the price of Bitcoin has gone down as well. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that in today's episode, and along with that guys, we're going to be discussing a massive news, and that is to do with Litecoin, and looks like Litecoin has successfully completed its third block reward halving, and some of you guys might know that Litecoin is often considered kind of like a younger version of Bitcoin, and essentially guys, a lot of the changes that eventually take place in Bitcoin is often tested in Litecoin. So we'll go ahead and discuss that in today's episode, and we also have some positive news regarding Amazon Prime, and looks like they are giving out free NFTs as well. So if you're into gaming, you definitely need to check it out. And guys, we also have some collaboration, and this is a positive collaboration in the world of Web 3.0, and this collaboration is between Consensus and Cointelegraph. So absolutely powerful and massive news. And look guys, if you're a startup or someone who's trying to build things, definitely pay attention to this news because they have an accelerator program, and I'm pretty much sure you'll be benefited by it. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news this time guys is regarding events that I'm conducting at Blockchain DXB, and what I tend to do is I tend to conduct these sessions every month just so that people are educated on different aspects of Bitcoin, blockchain and even metaverse. Now the first event that actually takes place is on the 31st of August and it has more to do with metaverse. So the event is called as Metaverse, the Hype Reality and New World Order. So in today's episode I'll go ahead and give our explanation on what is it that you can expect at this event. And mind you guys, this session is completely free of cost. You can register it via the link in the show notes below, or you can also go to eventbrite.com and just search for Blockchain DXB. Now on the 31st of August guys, I do have another event called a Special Hour Analysis, and to be honest, this is if not one of my favorite events. And Special Hour Analysis essentially stands for political, economical, social, technological, legal, environmental and religious analysis on Bitcoin. Now what I also plan to do is I plan to do Special Hour Analysis on, let's say, metaverse, maybe stable coins, and you can do Special Hour Analysis on pretty much every other protocol or any other industry as well. And if you've done your masters or MBA, I'm pretty much sure you know what Special Hour Analysis stands for. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, so let's get started with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as we kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee A Date has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee A Date. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee A Date, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee A Date, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events, and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalhoub Group, a luxury retailer and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3 and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalhoub Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now unfortunately guys, because of the rumor of the US Department of Justice
planning to go against Binance or maybe file charges against Binance. This has definitely created a negative sentiment, particularly in the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well. And the global cryptocurrency market is actually down to $1.17 trillion. It's going to be really interesting and critical to see as and when we get more clarity regarding the actions of US Department of Justice, keeping in mind Binance. Now, since the last 24 hours, the global cryptocurrency market is down by 2.17%. The total cryptocurrency market volume over the last 24 hours is also down by 13.60%, and it is currently only at $36.02 billion. And mind you guys, when Bitcoin was at its all-time high, the total cryptocurrency market volume, it used to hover somewhere between the $80 to $120 billion range, and that used to be an average 24-hour volume. And it's needless to say that the volume of stablecoins used to definitely be much higher as well. Now, before we get into stablecoins, let's quickly run through some of the metrics so far as DeFi is concerned, because unfortunately guys, the volume of DeFi is not looking good at all. It is only down to $3.09 billion, and DeFi accounts for 8.57% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And look guys, I've been saying this over and over again, in order for cryptocurrency to go mainstream, DeFi ideally should account for, let's say, 30 to 40%, maybe even 60% of the total crypto market volume. Unfortunately, that is not happening. It's only when DeFi volume picks up pace, we can confidently say that DeFi has gone mainstream. Now granted guys, because of the decentralized nature, because of the distributed nature of cryptocurrencies and blockchain protocol, customer service becomes an issue, user experience becomes an issue. And I very specifically remember Uniswap actually did a survey where they actually asked users what is the main reason why people are not using Uniswap, and the user experience was definitely one of them. Now, so far as the total value locked is concerned, guys, as of today, 3rd of August, it is only at $40.11 billion. And once DeFi gets mainstream, this total value locked should be somewhere between the $200 to maybe $300 billion range. When will that thing happen? To be honest, guys, I really am not sure. Now, so far as the total value locked is concerned, Lido's dominance is 14.79%. And today's matrix, guys, what I'm really pleased to see is the decentralized exchange to centralized exchange dominance, and this is currently at 17.32%. And guys, listen, once DeFi goes mainstream, this decentralized exchange to centralized exchange dominance should ideally be between the 40%, maybe even 60 or 80%. If imagine having decentralized exchanges dominance, that'll be absolutely beautiful, wouldn't it? I'm really hoping that we do actually achieve that matrix, probably in the next decade. Now, so far as the 24-hour volume is concerned, guys, Uniswap is clearly leading the pack, and the volume is $1.01 billion. Core Finance is looking ridiculously strong as well, and its volume is $415.12 million. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out any update regarding Core Finance, Laura Shin, what she usually does is she gets experts in the field and they actually break down what that exploit is. I haven't checked, to be honest, if she has released any episodes, but go to YouTube or go to any of the podcasting channel and subscribe to Laura Shin's Unchained podcast. She often provides powerful and critical information and detailed explanation regarding exploits, and I'm pretty much sure she'll go ahead and release an episode discussing the exploit on Core Finance. Now, the number 3rd protocol so far as the 24-hour volume is concerned is PancakeSwap, and its volume is $347.86 million. Maverick Protocol is number 4th at $199.62 million. And finally, guys, Dodo at $108.44 million. Now, let's quickly run through the volume of stablecoins. And unfortunately, guys, stablecoins is accounting for 94.05% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Definitely not ideal. And listen to this, guys. The total cryptocurrency market volume is $36.02 billion, and out of that, stablecoins accounts for $33.88 billion. And out of this $33.88 billion, Tether USDT accounts for $24.75 billion, Circle USDC accounts for $3.72 billion, but the scariest metric, guys, is that of Binance BUSD's market cap. It is down to $3.5 billion, and I'm pretty much sure as and when the news regarding the US Department of Justice planning to have charges against CZ and Binance would have a massive impact on the market cap of Binance BUSD. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, guys, if Binance BUSD's market cap does actually go below the $3 billion mark, and at one point of time, Binance BUSD's market cap was hovering somewhere around the $16 billion mark. So definitely scary matrix, and scary, to be honest, for Binance BUSD. Now, so far as the 24-hour volume is concerned, it is at $1.70 billion. Now let's quickly look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now if you look at the 24-hour volume of Bitcoin, guys, it has definitely gone up, but the prices have gone down, which just means one thing, that people are actually going ahead and selling their Bitcoin. And if you look at the stablecoin volumes, that is ridiculously low as well, which just means that people are actually selling their Bitcoin and getting it converted into fiat currency. So definitely not a good metric. Now, so far as the market cap is concerned, Bitcoin's market cap is $567 billion, Ethereum is at $223 million, and the 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin, guys, is $17.4 billion, whereas Ethereum is $6.02 billion. And surprisingly, guys, the dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum has been relatively consistent. Bitcoin's dominance is at 48.50%, whereas Ethereum is 19.10%. Now, guys, what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be looking at decentralized applications that are currently working only on Binance BNB chain. And the number one protocol, guys, is PancakeSwap version 3. And if you look at the volume so far as the dollar amount is concerned, it is $210.37 million. Now, mind you, guys, I'm only looking at the fiat value of incoming token transfers from unique active wallets to decentralized app smart contract over a period of time. And to be honest, guys, when I mention over a period of time, I'm pretty much sure what DeFi Llama is referring to is the 24-hour period. And one metric, guys, which I particularly like about Binance BNB chain is actually the number of users or the number of active wallets interacting or performing transactions with decentralized app smart contract over a period of time. And as I mentioned, most likely that is 24 hours. So for PancakeSwap, guys, that is roughly around 2,800 users. Absolutely brilliant metric. Now, mind you, guys, these are brilliant metrics only in comparison to other blockchain protocol. In comparison, let's say, to the fiat world, this number is absolutely ridiculously low. It definitely needs to be 20 or 30 times, maybe even 50 times higher than what it is in order for us to confidently say that cryptocurrencies have gone mainstream. Now, the second decentralized app on Binance BNB chain is a protocol called as Venu protocol, and its volume is $161.69 million. But if you look at the number of people using it or the number of people interacting with the decentralized app smart contract, is 1,510 users. Now, the third one is really interesting, guys. It is PancakeSwap version 2. And mind you, guys, PancakeSwap version 2 used to be working on Ethereum, but it is currently now working only on Binance BNB chain. And if you look at it in terms of dollar amount value, it is $86.78 million. In terms of number of users, it is 79,920 users. The fourth protocol, guys, is Radiant, and in terms of dollar value, it is $42.35 million. In terms of the number of users, it is 1,090 users. And the fifth and final decentralized app working on Binance BNB chain is a protocol called as Level, and in terms of dollar value, it is $15.51 million, and the number of people interacting with decentralized app smart contract over a period of time is 71. Now, mind you, guys, when I mentioned 71, this could be 71 people using it, or it is possible that there are 71 smart contracts, and in the smart contracts, there might be hundreds and even thousands of people actually going ahead and using it. And in order to find out more information, what I'd really recommend you to do is go to dappradar.com, and you can definitely go ahead and sort it and play around with it as well. Now, guys, before we move to the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, let's quickly run through one of the protocol which at one point of time had the potential to be an Ethereum killer. And I very specifically remember, guys, I did attend the very first Blockchain Future Summit, and this was going back to 2016 or 2017, I believe. And at that point of time, Hedera Hashgraph did make a lot of news. Now, mind you, guys, Hedera Hashgraph does not use blockchain protocol. So in today's episode, let me very briefly run through what Hedera Hashgraph is, how does it work, and some more intricate details. Now, so far as the price of Hedera Hashgraph is concerned, it is roughly at 0.0529 cents, and the ticket symbol, guys, for Hedera Hashgraph or Hedera is H bar. So let me very briefly run through how does Hedera Hashgraph or H bar work and what is it that makes it special. Now, Hedera Hashgraph, guys, is a distributed ledger technology, also called as DLT, that operates on a unique consensus algorithm called as Hashgraph, and the algorithm is designed to improve upon the limitations of traditional blockchain technology in terms of speed, efficiency, and security. So mind you, guys, there are no blocks that are chained to the next block. They use a different consensus mechanism called as Gossip Protocol. So what Hedera uses is Hashgraph consensus, and Hedera Hashgraph uses a consensus mechanism where computers in the network, often called as nodes, communicate and share information with each other, and the communication forms a hash graph, which is a record of all transactions and the sequence, and this enables the network to achieve consensus on the order of timings of transactions, ensuring that all participants agree on the state of ledger. And one of the advantages that Hedera Hashgraph has is speed and efficiency, and Hashgraph's unique gossip protocol enables rapid and efficient communication between nodes, and this leads to faster transaction confirmation times and high throughput as well. And transactions on Hedera Hashgraph can finalize in seconds as opposed to minutes, let's say in Bitcoin blockchain, and the network guys claims to support over 10,000 transactions per second, definitely much higher than Bitcoin and definitely competing, let's say, with Visa and MasterCard as well. And one of the features of Hedera Hashgraph, guys, is they claim that they have low fees, and Hedera Hashgraph boasts low transaction fees with an average cost of around 0.0001 USD per transactions, and this makes it more cost effective for microtransactions and other use cases. And so far as security is concerned, guys, they also focus on security and Byzantine fault tolerance, and Hedera Hashgraph achieves a high level of security through a BFT tolerant consensus mechanism, also called as Byzantine fault tolerance consensus mechanism. This means, guys, that even if some nodes behave maliciously or fail, the network can reach agreement on transactions, and they also have smart contracts and services. And Hedera offers services like tokenization, smart contracts, and decentralized file storage as well. It provides developers with tools to create and manage tokens, including fungible and non-fungible tokens as well, write and execute smart contracts, and store data in a secure and verifiable manner. Now look, guys, if you're someone who's trying to build something in the metaverse, I very specifically remember roughly around 6 months or so, Hedera Hashgraph did have a partnership with Outlier Ventures, and they're definitely open for funding your protocols in the metaverse. Now, at this point of time, I'm not sure if you're kind of supposed to use Hedera Hashgraph in the metaverse, but definitely go ahead and check it out. Now, let me very briefly run through how does Hedera Hashgraph differ from blockchain technology. So there are essentially 6 areas where Hedera Hashgraph differs from blockchain technology. The first one, guys, is consensus mechanism. The second one is speed and scalability. Third is finality. The fourth one, guys, is security model. The fifth one is efficiency, and finally, guys, token utility. So let me very briefly run through what it is, because it's important to remember, guys, that while Hedera Hashgraph and traditional blockchain technologies are forms of distributed ledger, they have significant differences in the underlying architecture and how they operate. And so far as consensus mechanism is concerned, Hedera Hashgraph uses consensus algorithm that focus on achieving fast and efficient agreement on transactions, and traditional blockchain, guys, uses proof of work, or in some cases proof of stake mechanism as well, that can be slower and consume more energy. The second area, guys, is speed and scalability, which I very briefly touched base earlier on, but Hedera's Hashgraph can process thousands of transactions per second, significantly surpassing many blockchains in terms of speed and scalability, and this is crucial for applications that require high throughput. And the next point, guys, which is very critical, is that of finality, and transactions on Hedera Hashgraph can achieve finality within seconds, meaning they are confirmed and cannot be reversed. In some blockchains, especially those using proof of work, finality may take longer, leading to potential delays and uncertainties. Now, so far as Bitcoin blockchain is concerned, guys, the finality is achieved roughly after 6 blocks, which is roughly around an hour or so. And the next point, guys, is about security model, and Hedera's approach to security involves a rotating governing council and a unique form of proof of stake. And this is distinct from security mechanism of most blockchains, which may rely solely on proof of work or validators or proof of stake. Now, so far as efficiency is concerned, guys, Hedera Hashgraph's gossip protocol allows for more efficient communication between nodes, reducing the need for resource-intensive mining or validation process that traditional blockchains often require. And finally, guys, token utility. While both systems have native tokens, that is H-bar for Hedera and various cryptocurrencies for blockchain, it is important to know that H-bar has a dual role of power networking services in securing the network through staking, which can differ from the role of tokens in traditional blockchains. So essentially, guys, in summary, Hedera Hashgraph stands out for its novel consensus algorithm that is high speed and low fees and efficient communication between nodes. It also distinguishes itself from blockchain technology through its unique approach to consensus, security, and scalability. Now, all these things being said, guys, it's very critical to truly understand the basics of open blockchain, that is open source, permissionless, censorship resistance, publicly verifiable, and neutral. Now, really, I'm not sure if the source code of Hedera is completely open source, and they also have a patent. So in order to go ahead and use Hedera Hashgraph, you definitely need to understand that Hedera Hashgraph definitely is patented. And guys, listen, if you're someone who is in Dubai, go to meetup.com, because Hedera Hashgraph, they often have a weekly meetup, and to be honest, the information that they provide is definitely brilliant. Now let me very briefly run through who the founders of Hedera Hashgraph are. Now Hedera Hashgraph has two founders, that is Dr. Lehman Bird and Mance Hammond, and Dr. Lehman Bird is credited as the inventor of Hashgraph distributed consensus algorithm and currently works as Hedera's chief scientist. And prior to founding Hedera Hashgraph, Dr. Bade accumulated more than a decade of experience in various computer science and security roles, and previously worked as a senior researcher scientist at the Academy Center by Cyberspace Research. He also holds the position of co-founder of CTO of Swirls Inc. as well, a platform that actually focuses on building decentralized apps. On the other hand, guys, Mance Hammond is Hedera's CEO and an experienced technology executive and seasoned entrepreneur, and Harmon has around 2 decades of experience holding executive roles at prominent firms as well, many of which are IT security related industries. And like Dr. Lehman Bird, Mance Hammond also holds a second position at Swirls Inc. and is also the co-founder and CEO as well. So definitely cool project, guys, but it's so critical to understand, guys, what are the features of open blockchain, and you also truly need to understand what is the blockchain trilemma problem, that is decentralization, or distributed, how I like to call it, scalability, and the most important thing, guys, is security as well. Now, guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And to be honest, guys, the price of Bitcoin is not looking good. It is currently at $29,179, and I'm pretty much sure as in when we get more clarity regarding the US Department of Justice potentially going after Binance, that news will significantly impact the price of Bitcoin and pretty much sure other cryptocurrencies as well. Now, since the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is down by 2.58%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 0.73%. Ethereum, guys, is $1,839. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.94%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 1.85%. Binance BNB coin is not looking good either. It is currently at $240. And since the last 24 hours, guys, it is down by 3.01%. And since the last 7 days, it is marginally up by 0.28%. And I'm pretty much sure, guys, once we get more clarity, the price of Binance BNB coin might be impacted the most. And I do have this feeling that Ripple might definitely overtake Binance BNB coin, most likely by the end of this week as well. Now, guys, let's discuss some massive news, and that is regarding the US Department of Justice. They're aggressively planning to go after Binance BNB. Now, at this point of time, guys, I really am not sure if this news is legitimate or if it is just rumor, because the article is written only by Semaphore, and unfortunately, guys, they have not provided any names, and it looks like it's more of an opinion, but this news has definitely impacted the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So essentially, the news, guys, that is circulating right now is that the US Department of Justice officials are considering fraudulent charges against cryptocurrency exchange Binance, but the reason why they are not doing that is because they are concerned about the cost to consumers. And listen, guys, the US Department of Justice is currently deliberating about whether to bring fraudulent charges against Binance, which, as we know, is a prominent cryptocurrency exchange, and the focus of these potential charges is related to alleged fraudulent activities carried out by Binance, and these activities could range from violation of anti-money laundering and KYC, that is Know Your Customer regulations, to other forms of financial misconduct. However, guys, the Department of Justice is facing a significant dilemma, and they are apprehensive about the potential consequences of indicting Binance on the broader cryptocurrency ecosystem and the market as a whole. Now, could that be the reason why they're not doing it? And is that the reason why they're not doing it? To be honest, guys, I really am not sure. Now, one thing to note is that they are particularly concerned that an incident could actually trigger a run on Binance, something similar to what occurred in FTX and something similar to what happened in Terra Luna as well. And as you know, guys, FTX cryptocurrency platform faced similar financial troubles. In the case of FTX, a run on the exchange led to its bankruptcy, causing customers to lose their funds and creating panic with the cryptocurrency market. Now, federal prosecutors are actively weighing various options to address this challenge. While charging Binance with fraud is a primary consideration, they're also exploring alternative courses of action. Now, these alternatives could include imposing substantial fines on the exchange or entering into default or non-prosecution agreements, and these agreements would actually require Binance to acknowledge and rectify any wrongdoing without facing immediate criminal charges. Now, based on the article, guys, looks like the goal here is to strike a balance between holding Binance accountable for its alleged criminal activities or behavior and minimizing potential harm to consumers in the broader cryptocurrency market. Now, the ongoing debate reflects the complex and rapidly evolving nature of cryptocurrency enforcement and regulations in the United States. And cryptocurrency firms, guys, as we know, often operate in a legal gray area due to the lack of clarity of clear regulatory frameworks, and consumers do not benefit from the same level of protection as they do in traditional banking sector. So it's going to be really critical to see as and when we get some information regarding news about US Department of Justice's action against Binance. The US regulatory landscape, guys, for cryptocurrencies remain uncertain, and this situation highlights the challenges that authorities face in addressing potential wrongdoing while safeguarding the interests of consumers and the stability of the market. And as of now, guys, both the US Department of Justice and Binance have chosen not to provide any official comments or statements on this matter. And look, guys, this news will significantly drop the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, guys, let's discuss second news, and that is to do with Litecoin. And the news is that Litecoin has completed its third block reward halving, now cutting the reward to 6.25 LTC a Litecoin. And on August 2nd, 2023, Litecoin blockchain documented its third block reward halving. And guys, Litecoin's first halving did actually take place on the 25th of August, going back to 2015, at block height number 840,000. Now, if you do want to read through the actual numbers, Bitcoin.com has provided a brilliant explanation, and the second halving did actually take place on the 5th of August on 2019 at block number 1,680,000, and the most recent reward halving happened at block height number 2,520,000, and this has reduced the reward from 12.5 Litecoin to 6.25 Litecoin. And prior to this halving, guys, Litecoin miners generated 7,200 new Litecoin units each day, and that has now fallen to 3,600. Now, could it be possible, guys, that because of the reduction in halving, the prices of Litecoin increases? Only time will tell. Now, here's the interesting bit, guys. Charlie Lee, who's the founder of Litecoin, did actually mention a really funny tweet, and what he actually mentioned was the discrepancy in when the halving would actually occur. And he did actually mention it in a really funny way, and he also did actually go live via Twitter Space to share his thoughts and opinions on the Bitcoin reward halving. So definitely positive news, particularly for miners, and I'm pretty much sure they're hoping that the price of LTC and Litecoin definitely pumps up, at least temporarily. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding Amazon. And Amazon Prime is giving out free NFTs, and Decrypt is actually reporting that Prime subscribers can now snag a free Polygon NFT and in-game currency for Mojo Melee, and I'm pretty much sure there's going to be more freebies in the near future. Now, the pack includes one NFT for champion character called as Gwen Rock Hopper, as well as 885R, which is essentially a non-crypto in-game currency. So definitely read through the article if you're into gaming, and if you do have an Amazon Prime account. And according to Mojo developer Mystic News, the character is offered as an NFT right off the gate, whereas Mojo Melee's in-game progression systems typically requires players to hit a certain character level before they can mint champions as NFTs. And mind you, guys, it is a special offer as part of the Amazon partnership, so definitely go and check it out if you're into gamings and if you're into Amazon Prime. And as part of the NFT, the first free offer includes Gwen Rock Hopper digital collectible in 850 or ORE. And the article is published via Decrypt, which actually states that the Amazon deal is set to last for 6 months and includes additional monthly drops of free in-game NFTs and other content as well, providing ongoing opportunities for Prime subscribers to check out the game and have a potential advantage over non-subscribers. So definitely an interesting partnership. Now, guys, let's discuss some partnership, and this is between two giants, that is Consensus and Cointelegraph. And the news is that Consensus Startup Program has partnered with Cointelegraph Accelerator, and because of this partnership, guys, Cointelegraph Accelerator participants will get a head start with Consensus Web3 solutions, including MetaMask, Infura, and Linear ZK EVM or Ethereum Virtual Machine or Zero Knowledge Proof Ethereum Virtual Machine. And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, if you're a startup, definitely check it out, because in this news, will definitely help you to transition from Web 2 to Web 3.0, and in this transition from Web 2 to 3.0, Consensus, a blockchain and Web3 software company, has launched a startup program to support early-stage ventures in Web3 space, and they aim to assist these startups in developing applications, deploying financial infrastructures, and connecting with decentralized networks as well. And guys, one of Consensus' well-known tool is MetaMask, which is a popular self-custody wallet as well. and I'm pretty much sure everyone knows about it right now. And guys, in June of 2023, Consensus did actually partner with Cointelegraph, which is a prominent media outlet in the crypto space, and I tend to use it at least 3 to 4 times in a day in order to do my preparatory work for my podcast. And they did this partnership in order to enhance the support for these startups. And this partnership combines Consensus software infrastructure with Cointelegraph's media reach to provide a suite for tools for blockchain startups development and success. And guys, listen, startups joining Consensus program gain access to various proprietary software products, technical consulting, learning services, and potential investment opportunities as well. And Cointelegraph's accelerator, on the other hand, focuses on boosting the visibility of these startups through strategic media campaigns, marketing strategy development, and access to investors and tech providers. And the partnership between Consensus and Cointelegraph offers startup a comprehensive package covering essential areas such as technology infrastructure, media exposure, consulting, marketing, funding access, learning, and quite a lot more. And participants, guys, in both programs receive fast-track access to each other's offerings and joint educational products, workshop, and special terms for partner services and infrastructure. And to be honest, guys, the partnership between Consensus and Cointelegraph provides a robust support system for Web3 startups, offering a wide range of resources and expertise to drive innovation and success in the evolving Web3 landscape. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, if you're a startup, definitely check it out. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee Date from Blockchain TXP. Now let's discuss 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. And both the news, guys, are regarding an events that I'm conducting on the 31st of August. And the first event, guys, is called as Metaverse, the Hype Reality and New World Order. So in today's episode, let me very briefly run through what is it that you can expect at that event. And to be honest, guys, I tend to do this session every month, and the goal is simply to educate the people on Metaverse, where we go and discuss the hype regarding Metaverse, understanding the impact of Metaverse and the impact on other industries as well. And listen, guys, ever since Facebook changed its name from Facebook to Meta, what I noticed is via LinkedIn, people became experts on Metaverse overnight, and ever since ChatGPT kicked in, everyone became experts in ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. So in the session that takes place on the 31st of August, we'll go ahead and discuss the institutions and companies joining on board in Metaverse. We'll also go ahead and explore the reality versus expectation, and we'll go ahead and discuss the hardware and software limitations. We'll also go ahead and discuss the real-life use cases of Metaverse. And finally, guys, we're also going to be discussing the New World Order. And mind you, guys, Joe Biden did actually mention in one of the press conference that we are entering into a new world order. And could it be possible that Metaverse plays a significant role in the Metaverse? And will the US have a competitive edge in the Metaverse? And we'll also go ahead and discuss the steps countries are taking in order to be an early adopter in the Metaverse. So essentially, guys, the session that takes place on the 31st of August, it takes place between 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. It is completely free of cost, and the session is broken down into 3 parts. In the first part, we discuss the history of Metaverse, we discuss the timeline of Metaverse, we also go ahead and discuss what the heck is Metaverse. We'll go ahead and discuss the hype about Metaverse and the hardware and software solutions in the Metaverse. And one company that I very specifically mentioned, guys, in my very first episode that I released on Metaverse Everything was NVIDIA. And NVIDIA at this point of time is on the verge of becoming a $1 trillion company. So if you're someone who's looking at hardware and software, you definitely need to go ahead and check what NVIDIA is doing. And to be honest, guys, if you actually subscribe to the newsletter, they tend to have quite a lot of sessions. Most of them are completely free of cost, and they talk about Metaverse and how their hardware has actually helped the Metaverse industry. And in the second podcast, which is one of my favorite, we go ahead and discuss areas where Metaverse merges with the physical world. And to be honest, guys, we'll go ahead and explore if blockchain technology is the right mix in the Metaverse, and do we actually require blockchain technology, and do we actually require cryptocurrencies in the Metaverse, or will there be alternative forms of payment or medium of exchange, such as, let's say, central bank digital currencies or Bitcoin Lightning Network, which will be an ideal fit in the Metaverse. We'll also go ahead and discuss the news and events surrounding Metaverse. And in the second part, guys, we also go ahead and discuss the limitations of blockchain technology, and we also go ahead and explore the use case of NFTs in the Metaverse. Now imagine, guys, having an NFT in the form of an avatar, and if that avatar is connected to ChatGPT, GPT-4 and AutoGPT, that will be an actual game changer, and you require innovation such as this in the Metaverse in order to go mainstream. And finally, guys, in part C, we go ahead and discuss Dubai Metaverse strategy. And guys, I do have a standalone episode which is released about Dubai Metaverse strategy. So please feel free to go and check it out, because in that episode, I clearly went on and explained what is Sheikh Hamdan's vision so far as Metaverse is concerned. And to be honest guys, one of his vision is for Dubai to be the top 10 city in the world so far as Metaverse is concerned. And I go ahead and give out more bits and pieces of information regarding the Dubai Metaverse Assembly, networking events and quite a lot more. And the session that takes place on the 31st, we'll also go ahead and discuss the legal governing bodies and quite a lot more. And guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding Metaverse, DIFC recently has quite a lot of news regarding the Metaverse industry as well. So please feel free to check it out. So you can have a look at the DIFC website. You can also have a look at the Dubai Future Foundation website and the Dubai Future Accelerator website as well. So I'll be covering quite a lot of those guys on the session on the 31st of August, and the session takes place between 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time, and the registration link is in the show notes below. Alternatively, you can drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com, or guys, you can also go to eventbrite.com and just search for blockchaindxb.com. Now guys, let's discuss the second event, and that is to do with pestle hour analysis on Bitcoin. And as I mentioned earlier guys, pestle hour analysis, the acronym stands for P for political, E for economical, S for social, T for technological, L for legal, E for environmental, and R for religious. Now I'll be going ahead and doing an analysis on Bitcoin, and you can do pestle hour analysis, let's say for stable coins, for metaverse, for any project, for any protocol and any other industry as well. And if you've done your masters or MBA guys, you know how important pestle hour analysis is. It is essentially a tool to gain a macro level picture of an industry or a project, and it allows us to form an impression of the factors that might impact a new industry or an old business model as well. So the session on the 31st, we break down elements of Bitcoin at a macro level to better understand its impact and vice versa. So let me very briefly run through what is it that you can expect on the session on the 31st of August. Now, so far as political factors is concerned guys, we'll go ahead and ask this very basic question: is Bitcoin apolitical? Now mind you guys, Bitcoin started as a movement towards separation of money and the state. But when will that happen? I really am not sure, because to be honest guys, politics and politicians do have a very strong impact on the trajectory and the direction of Bitcoin. And something which I mention quite often is right-wing ideologies and right-wing politicians are definitely in favor of Bitcoin, are definitely in favor of open source, are definitely in favor of freedom of speech as well. Left-wing ideologies are definitely not in favor of Bitcoin. They're definitely not in favor of open source, definitely not in favor of freedom of speech, and left-wing ideologies are definitely in favor of central bank digital currencies as well. Now, so far as economical factors is concerned guys, we'll answer this basic question: is Bitcoin the biggest global wealth redistribution? We'll try to look at the numbers in terms of how many millionaires or maybe billionaires were made purely out of Bitcoin. And we'll also go ahead and discuss, can Bitcoin change the dynamics of money? We'll also go ahead and discuss inflation, exchange rates, quite a lot of other. Now regarding social factors are concerned, we'll go ahead and look at the impact of social media and Bitcoin's impact on society as well. We'll go ahead and look at Bitcoin's usage in first world countries versus underdeveloped countries. And are millennials the one who are using Bitcoin, or are there boomers who are using Bitcoin? And to be honest guys, the answer might be a bit surprising. So we'll go ahead and explore that in detail on the session on the 31st of August. Now, so far as technological factors are concerned, we'll go ahead and discuss the user experience in Bitcoin. We'll also go ahead and discuss the different forks of Bitcoin, and we'll go ahead and explore the Taproot and Snore signature, which was one of the latest updates on Bitcoin. And guys, because of Taproot and Snore signature, you also have the ability to have NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain, and recently we have seen a significant rise on ordinal inscriptions on Bitcoin. So we'll go ahead and discuss all this in detail. Now mind you guys, this information will be absolutely easy to understand. You do not require any technical expertise whatsoever. Even a 5-year-old can understand. I'll try to make it that easy. And regarding technological factors, we'll also touch base on economies of scale, particularly for mining industries as well. Now so far as legal factors are concerned, we'll answer this basic question: is Bitcoin legal? Where does governance fit in? Where does regulations and legislations fit in? And what can governments do in order to support innovation around Bitcoin adoption? And we'll also touch base on El Salvador's move on making Bitcoin a legal tender. And finally guys, regarding environmental factors, we'll go ahead and discuss Bitcoin mining energy consumption, and we'll go ahead and discuss the ESG concern regarding Bitcoin mining as well. And we'll also go ahead and discuss the past, the current and the future state of environmental impact on Bitcoin and vice versa. And finally, guys, regarding religious factors, we'll go ahead and discuss if Bitcoin is Sharia compliant and what are the religious factors and commonality in Bitcoin, and how is Bitcoin seen in the Middle East, and quite a lot more. And guys, this session is completely free, of course. You do not require absolutely any technical expertise, and the session actually takes place on the 31st of August between 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. So you can register it via the link below, or also go to eventbrite.com, or even drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee Date from Blockchain DXP. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXP. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question by Bino who asks, are you planning to have a session on Cardano or other blockchain protocols as well? To be honest, Bino, that is an absolutely brilliant question. And to be honest, at this point of time, I really am not sure, but it definitely sounds like a great idea. What I'm struggling with right now, so far as time is concerned, is the editing of my podcast. Once I hire someone to do the editing, I'll definitely be open to the idea of, let's say, having sessions on Cardano, another blockchain protocol as well. Now, that thing being said, Bino, I do have a beginner level series on Bitcoin, and I tend to do it on Ethereum as well. But one of my focus right now is to have a session on stablecoins, because to be honest, one trend which I've been observing, particularly since the last year or so, there's massive news regarding stablecoins that is actually having a majority of the impact. And to be honest, news surrounding stablecoins directly or indirectly impacts at least 80% to 90% of the cryptocurrency market volume. So what I plan to do next is maybe have a session on stablecoins. But to answer your question, yes, I do actually think I might have a session on Cardano, maybe another blockchain protocol as well. And if you know someone, or if you do want to participate or help me in any form, definitely go ahead and drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. But definitely a brilliant idea. And apart from stablecoins, the next agenda that I'm currently focusing on is central bank digital currency. And like I do metaverse related events, and like I do pestle analysis on Bitcoin, I do want to have a session. I actually do a session on central bank digital currency every month as well. So next week I'll go ahead and announce the date where I'll go ahead and discuss central bank digital currency. And the topic of that video actually is central bank digital currencies, the basics, understanding the basics, the threats to freedom and its role in the metaverse. So definitely important question. But to answer your question, yes, I definitely would like to do more sessions on other blockchain protocols as well. But at this point of time, I do require some kind of assistance, maybe doing the editing work for my podcast, so I can focus on providing more quality content and events regarding blockchain protocols. But definitely brilliant question. So that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series from Blockchain DXP. And in case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee Date, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And how the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee Date works is we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East, and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.